This episode of New Jersey Living is being recorded in Somerville, New Jersey. I'm right now on Division Street, which is dead center of one of the finest dining scenes in New Jersey. So if you've seen some of my other episodes, namely Ridgewood and Montclair and Cranford and Westfield, those episodes you've seen that there are some pretty well-renowned, well-noted dining scenes in some suburban areas that are relative close proximity to New York City. Here, Somerville, we're very much central Jersey, so this is not necessarily a core New York City suburb, but dining scene-wise, it rivals some of the others. Not so much in size, but the general aesthetic. As I pan around a little bit, you're gonna get a little bit of a glimpse. Division Street is just one little closed off side street that is for pedestrian traffic only. The shops vary substantially. It's not all eating, as you can see right behind me. Yeah, House of Jerky on one side right here behind me. I pan around to directly across the walkway, and it's a tattoo shop. So there's cafes, there's food, there's arcade, there's laundry, there's salon, there's some of everything down here. So Main Street is directly behind me, which is even more dining and retail. And if I pan around, at the other end is the train station. So as those who have followed, you know I definitely include train stations as part of the criteria that I select for demand in terms of market value of homes. That's a major factor, and right here you could literally get off the train in Somerville and walk directly into the dining scene in minutes, literally. So we're going to take a look at a few homes along the way. I'm going to walk through the downtown scene just so you can get a feel of the dining scene here. And we're going to jump into some of the details about Somerville. So those Jersey hunters that have been viewing all along, welcome back. For those that are new, welcome aboard. And we'll get into a few details about my channel in the next segment. I'll see you there. Welcome to New Jersey Living. My name is Corey Jones, and I'm a real estate agent with Prestige Properties. And my job is to bring content like this to viewers like you. In this channel, we cover all things New Jersey, specifically the suburbs surrounding New York City. So the real estate market, places to dine, social entertainment scenes, iconic locations, these are all things that we cover here in the, for the most part, northern and somewhat central portion of New Jersey, and most certainly focus centrally on the real estate market. So as I mentioned, today we are in Somerville, New Jersey. Somerville is the county seat of Somerset County. So New Jersey is divided up into 21 counties in total. Somerset County is the wealthiest county in the state per capita, per income capita. So this county, very much in the central part of the state, certainly has a lot of, when I say wealth, I'm referencing more so income, because there's a lot of business, a lot of corporate presence here. We're still within proximity to New York City, that you do have some commuters, but many people do, for the most part in this location, work somewhere in the area of central or north New Jersey. We're going to see that from a property standpoint, from a demand standpoint, prices are very friendly here. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the big three right now. You saw the train station. I showed that opening scene. So the train station is a check mark. Schools are A-rated. These are excellent schools. Niche.com, again, for those who have not viewed my episodes before, I'm not subjective with my own personal opinions, although I do have a professional background in education. I don't get into the subjectivity of that. I base it on niche.com. So A-rated. And when it comes to proximity to New York City is where we start to see a little bit of a difference between areas that we've seen with dining scenes specifically, like Westfield, like a Cranford, Montclair, Ridgewood. this is not a really close proximity to New York City in terms of under an hour commute. If we were driving to get into Staten Island, perfectly fine. We would get into Staten Island in under an hour. But by New York City commute, I do reference Midtown Manhattan. The Lincoln Tunnel, getting into the Lincoln Tunnel into Midtown Manhattan is my general reference point of commute. So this is beyond an hour. All right, we're more probably like an hour 15, somewhere in that general vicinity, depending on the traffic and exactly where you are in town. So that is not going to get a check mark in terms of proximity. So the county itself is very much in the center of New Jersey. Just flash up a quick map for you as a reference, see where the county is located. And as I mentioned before, a lot of corporate headquarters and campuses are here in this county. So with where I stand right now, just to give a little history, a little reference, I'm gonna pan up just a little so you can see the upper side of what historically has been the county courthouse. So like most counties in the state of New Jersey, a lot of municipal, when I say municipal, I mean joint municipal courts and what have you. If it's a bigger ticket item, it's typically, when I say big ticket, I mean like your jails and a lot of trials and things like that are going to happen in the county seat. All right, so this would have been historically the courthouse. There is a newer building that you may not be able to see as well. It's across the street, and for the most part, operations have moved over into the newer building. So this is more of a historic building right here, built in 1906. Directly beside is the first Reformed church, built in 1897. The same architect that designed this designed a lot of the Princeton campus, which if you see my Princeton episode, you've seen some of that architectural designs there. So this is very much a historic site at this point, but going back into Somerville in general, Somerville being the county seat, a lot of the resources obviously are going to come here for things like a county courthouse, sheriff's office, things of that nature. So with the town, because it doesn't hit all three of the big three, you're gonna find reasonable prices. So it's not a very large town, either by population or geographic size, but it is a very comfortable, it has very, that small town feel to it. Good amount of diversity is here. I believe they had a diversity day just maybe 2 weeks ago, because I had clients here looking at property, and they had basically I don't want to say it was an open festivity that was going on for that, just celebrating diversity. So very diverse location. It's just, again, it's one of those locations that doesn't put you in close proximity to New York City. So we're going to take a look at 3 properties today. I'm going to take a little bit more footage of downtown, just the dining scene, which is one of the best. If you come and walk whatever time of year, spring, winter, summer, we're in the fall right now, it's a great scene to come. I just had lunch at right across the street at Turf, Surf, and Earth. I'll flash a few of those photos up, as well as the meal I had, which is a very unique setup. I really like how they have, like, you have your turf options, beef, pork, and what have you. Surf, all seafood, and then Earth is anything that's like mushroom, say black bean, or maybe tofu, something that would be soy related. So yeah, they mix everything up. You can get salad. I had Baja tacos, which were shrimp tacos, and they were fantastic. So definitely 2 thumbs up for Turf, Surf, and Earth. All right, so we are again going to jump into a little bit more street footage here, so you get a feel for town. I'm going to take a little bit of a closer picture of the church as well, so you can see that a little close up, and we're going to get into some property. So I'll see you at the next stop. We're at another quick stop, still in the downtown scene on Main Street, and just wanted to give a few more reference points in terms of the general scene down here. We're in front of United Reformed Church. Now, you may not be able to see the sign, but that's founded in 1699. So this, again, attests to the history of Somerville. Somerville is certainly one of the pre-colonial townships that you'll find in New Jersey. We have a lot of history, obviously, this section of the country, from New England all the way down to Georgia and even Florida. Florida, we're talking pre-colonial times, was more of a Spanish territory than English. But throughout the East Coast, the main point is that there's a lot of history dating back to the colonies and before there was an established, government of the United States. So these establishments like these right here would reflect that time period well before Revolutionary War, early colonial period of the country. Now, panning around, you see some brand new history, right? So this is newer construction, follows the theme that you've seen in other episodes, that all along train lines you are finding this right here. You're finding development that has residential on the floors above, and you're seeing first floors of retail. And there's more construction taking place a little further down. So this is, and let's pan a little bit so you can kind of get a 360, beautiful mural that's put up here. This is another thing that is happening, another trend a lot both in New York City and northern New Jersey, where you have these open spaces like this where murals are a deterrent for graffiti, because most graffiti artists will respect art and they will not paint on top of a surface like this is already painted. But yeah, this is what you're seeing all along the train lines throughout New Jersey is development and more development. If you have not heard, there still is a housing shortage, and we're talking nationwide. And in this particular area of the country, it is extremely densely populated. So there are still developments like this that are going up pretty consistently. Inventory also is still low for real estate purposes. So in the Northeast, are we seeing a price drop in terms of the market? I would say no. Are we seeing more price drops with individual properties? Yes, we are seeing some of that. But again, if it's newer, if it's newly renovated, if it's new construction, it's not dropping at all. But some owners and agents are having to adjust prices down a bit because they may have priced too high based on what the market was early this year or even last year. So this, again, just gives you a bit of the aesthetic of the downtown Main Street scene. I should say Main Street. This is truly more of a Main Street than a downtown feel, if you probably haven't noticed already. This is not, in Somerset County for the most part, it's the same. It's not a really urban presence the way we find in some of the other counties. Middlesex, not so much, but definitely Essex, Union, Hudson for sure. All right, so we're gonna hop into our first view. I'll see you at the first property. We're at our first property view here on West Summit. This is 215 West Summit behind me directly. I'm panning up just a little so you get the full frontal profile and see down the driveway a bit as well. There is a 2-car detached garage at the end of this driveway. So this property is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Was listed at $399.9, sold at $370 below ask. So this is one of those scenarios where you're seeing more often where there's some negotiating room. This property was well maintained, but not by any means newly renovated. And it is a 2-bedroom, not a 3. Had it been a 3, we're talking a different price point altogether. But it is a 2-bedroom that basically was listed at $400 and sold at $370. Location wise, it is really a one. I'll just pan around a little. You get the feel for the neighborhood. It's a very lovely aesthetic, lovely neighborhood. Your homes, as you can see, they do have many of them older style to them, because these are, for the most part, right around World War II, if not pre-war construction. So down the block, 2 houses down literally, is Mountain Ave. Mountain Ave, the main bus line, the express bus line that runs to New York City, will be on that street, or you would have a drive down to the Somerville train station to take the train if you were a city commuter. But as I mentioned before, this is not one of those primary New York City commuter locations. A lot of people are going to be working somewhere locally in the central, if not northern New Jersey location. So this gives you an example of what the neighborhood will look like on more the western end of town. And we're going to actually skip over 1 block literally to the what typically is what I preserve for the end of episodes, where we look at the high-end feature property, but we're 1 block away, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that one now, and then we'll hit the 3rd on the other side of town. So I'll see you there. We're at stop number 2, and as I mentioned before, this is typically one I would say for the end, but we were literally a block away. So we're in the historic area in Somerville, and these are just in general very impressive properties as I pan around. You'll see older Victorian or Georgian even styles of homes. So these are dating back turn of the century, as in like 1900 turn of the century. So 254, pan up a little bit, get a bit more of that profile, was a total of 7 bedrooms, 5 full baths. Initially, it was listed at $950,000, was dropped down to $895 and sold at $850. On the market a total of 60 days, which for Somerville, you're not going to find many homes priced in this range. So it's not uncommon that something will be on the market this long at that price point. But just again, give you a little quick pan. You have these wide streets, very large homes. I took a few photos of this property because it was too big to, just capture just a few. So I took a few, just with one, I'm sorry. So I took a few. The backyard takes up the entire block. All right, so this backyard is like a true garden. I took some photos of the side driveway, flashed some of those up. This property had just really unique architecture inside. Very, very well maintained. Not by any means made contemporary on the inside, but very well maintained. I certainly recommend for this one, look it up. 254 Altamont Place in Somerville. Go to Zillow, go to compass.com, look it up. Take a look at some of the interior, because this type of property right here, if we were in a Westfield or if we were in Montclair, this would have been, couldn't get this below 1.5 million, right? So actually Montclair probably would be closer to 2 million. But given the lot size and this is all brick as well, okay? So brick all the way around. This is a tremendous property and tremendous value because of location. All right, so this reflects what your higher end in Somerville looks like. So we're gonna go back into what more middle of the road. The first one that we viewed was on the market, as you saw when it flashed up, was I believe definitely over 40 days. I'm not sure exactly how many days, but that one took some time to sell because it was a 2-bedroom that was priced a little on the higher end. We're going to take a look now at another kind of middle of the road property, and you'll get again a feel and take in some of the road footage from this neighborhood, and I should say this block and the block we just took a look at on West Summit. So enjoy the street footage, and I'll see you at the final stop. We're at our final stop in front of 231 Grove Street. Just to jump into the quick details really quick, this was listed at $525, sold at $550, 9 days on the market. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So this is quite a sale for that price point, given the 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Part of the price point dynamic is it's on Grove. So I'm gonna spin around here. Grove is a main road that leads through Somerville, one of several that cuts relatively north-south. 22 is one direction, which runs east-west and towards New York City. And Main Street is the other direction and also running somewhat north-south. East-west. Grove is north-south. So this is, as you can tell, with cars that are passing by. There's a good amount of traffic here, so that certainly does impact market value to a degree. This is a newer construction. It's constructed in 1999 with upgrades as recent as 2020. So this was well maintained, upgraded, and sold in 9 days because of that, despite the scenario of being on a main road, as we can see here. Speed limit is 25 miles an hour, so it's not as though it's a situation where cars are high speed back and forth, but you can obviously tell with the number of cars you can hear passing back and forth is something that is not going to be that quiet block circumstance in terms of your scenery. So this price point again reflects that friendly price point I referenced about Somerville. You can, in the price range, if you're in a 400, particularly if you're say about 450 up to 650, there is a very, very comfortable type of accommodation that you can purchase here in Somerville. It's just a matter of, are you okay being a little further out from New York City? Those that love the Main Street scene and love the more quiet nature of the neighborhoods here don't mind it all. All right, so if that's something that you could see yourself fitting into and you're in that 400 to 600 range, I would recommend it's worth a look. It's worth taking a look to see what's available here and if it's something that will fit your needs for your budget. So I wanted to thank everybody. I did not mention a little earlier, please do click like, subscribe, and notification bell. We have a lot more content coming your way. I hope you enjoyed the content from today. So I'm gonna get moving here. We've been dealing with some rain today, but rain or not, the show must go on. I want to provide this content no matter what. So hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next go around. Be safe.